Hello, Cules. Hold on tight to your chair, your sofa, or the edge of your bed, because what's happening with Lamine Yamal is one of those moments that makes you want to stand up and applaud as if you were at the Camp Nou in 1990 with a last-minute goal. This kid, who seems like he was just playing in the schoolyard yesterday, is in such form that he's not just breaking records. He's leaving the whole world speechless, like when you're eating a calamari sandwich and realize there are no napkins. We're going to analyze why Lamine is better than ever, but take it easy. This isn't a sprint, it's an informative marathon with dribbles included. It's September 2025, and Lamine Yamal, at just 18 years old, has become the name on everyone's lips in every corner of Barcelona, in every bar where football is discussed, and even in the WhatsApp chats of the most devoted Cules. What's so special about this guy that even rivals look at him like he's a UFO? Well, for starters, his football is a mix of magic, audacity, and that spark only the chosen ones possess. Imagine a young Messi, with a touch of Neymar and a dash of Ronaldinho, all shaken up in a Red Bull cocktail. That's Lamine right now. I'm not exaggerating, or they'll accuse me of being a blindly passionate Cule. The guy plays like he's been in the elite for a decade, but with the freshness of someone who knows the world is his. In the last match against Real Betis, which ended in a 4-1 that set the Camp Nou buzzing, Lamine scored a brace and delivered an assist that left everyone with a "is that even legal?" expression. His first goal was a masterpiece. He receives a long pass from Frenkie de Jong, controls the ball like he's got glue on his cleats, dribbles past two defenders with a feint that looked like a dance move, and slots the ball into the top corner with unsettling calm. The second was more mischievous, the kind that makes you laugh, a rebound in the box, everyone running around like headless chickens, and he, with the calm of a Buddhist monk, pushes the ball into the net. The stands went wild, and even the stadium announcer lost his voice from shouting his name. But it's not just what he does with the ball, though that's already huge. It's the way Lamine moves on the pitch, like he's got an integrated GPS telling him where the ball is going before anyone else figures it out. His vision is out of this world. In that same match against Betis, he delivered a 40-meter pass that left Robert Lewandowski one-on-one with the keeper. Result: goal. And not just any goal, but the kind that makes you jump out of your seat and shout, "Come on!" even if you're alone at home. If you're already impressed, subscribe to the channel, because what's coming is even stronger. Lamine never stops surprising us. Let's talk numbers, because sometimes cold data says more than 1,000 words. In the 2025 to 2026 season, Lamine has 8 goals and 6 assists in 10 La Liga matches. Yes, you read that right, 18 years old, and he's already leading the Barça attack alongside established stars. But that's not all. In the Champions League, where the spotlight is brighter and the pressure heavier than a rock, the guy doesn't get intimidated. Against Bayern Munich, in a match that ended 3-2 for the Cules, Lamine scored a stunning free-kick goal that even left Neuer wondering, where did this kid come from? The German press, not known for handing out compliments, called him the new prodigy of world football. And it's not an exaggeration. But not everything is rosy, it's not a fairy tale. Lamine, like any young player, has things to improve. Sometimes, he tends to want to pull off the move of the century every time he touches the ball, and that's cost him a few turnovers in dangerous areas. But even his mistakes have a touch of magic. It's like when you try to build a house of cards and it collapses, but in the process, you create a shape you didn't even know existed. Hansi Flick, Barca's coach, knows this and is shaping him with patience. Flick, who isn't the type to get emotional easily, said in a press conference, "Lamine is a generational talent, but the best thing is that he wants to learn. That will make him unstoppable." And if Flick says it, someone who seems more German than Oktoberfest beer, you've got to take it seriously. Let's talk a little about his journey, because Lamine's story isn't just about a kid who plays football well. Born in Esplugues de Llobregat, just a stone's throw from the Camp Nou, Lamine grew up with the Barca crest tattooed on his heart. He joined La Masia at 7 years old, and from then on, the club scouts knew they had something special on their hands. Coaches from the youth teams say that even as a kid, Lamine had a game-reading ability that unsettled rivals and teammates alike. It was like he saw the game 3 seconds before everyone else, one of his first coaches said. And that, my Cule friends, can't be taught. Either you've got it, or you don't. But what really makes the difference in 2025 is his maturity, because one thing is having talent, and another is knowing how to manage it. Lamine hasn't just grown on the pitch, but off it too. In interviews, he answers with a clarity that makes you forget he's only 18. When asked who his idol was, he didn't hesitate. Messi, always Messi. But I want to be Lamine Yamal. That phrase, said with a mischievous smile, sums up who this guy is. Someone who respects the greats but isn't afraid to write his own story. And speaking of writing stories, we can't ignore the impact he has on the fans. The Camp Nou, which has seen legends like Cruyff, Ronaldinho, and Messi, is at his feet. Every time he touches the ball, you hear that murmur of anticipation, like everyone knows a great moment is about to happen. Kids in the stands wear jerseys with the number 19, and on social media, memes and videos of his moves go viral faster than a peak joke. Even the skeptics, the ones who always say, "We'll see if he can handle the pressure," are starting to face the facts. Lamine isn't a promise, he's a reality. But, Kules, it's not just Lamine's merit. We also have to applaud the team around him, because even though the guy is extraordinary, Barça in 2025 is built for him to shine. The arrival of Flick on the bench has been key. The German has given the team a solid structure, with a midfield where PEDRI and GAVI complement each other like puzzle pieces. Up front, Lewandowski remains a killer, and players like Rafinha and Ferran Torres provide the balance that allows Lamine to have the freedom to do what he does best: dribble, create, and score. It's like Barça is an orchestra and Lamine is the soloist who gets the applause, but without the other musicians, the symphony wouldn't sound the same. Now, let's not forget the context. Spanish football is boiling over right now. Real Madrid, led by Vinicius and Bellingham, remains a tough nut to crack. But Lamine's Barça is standing up to them like never before. The Clásicos this season promise to be epic, and if Lamine keeps up this level, I wouldn't be surprised to see him dribble past the entire white defense and silence the Bernabeu. Can you imagine? A Lamine goal in the 85th minute, with that signature flair, and the stadium falls silent. Just thinking about it gives me chills. By the way, speaking of strong emotions, if you want to follow everything about Lamine and Barça up close, subscribe to the channel, because you won't see this kind of coverage on just any news program. Here, we tell it like it is, with the heart of a Kuhl, unfiltered, and with all the details that make football so much more than just a sport. Let's get back to Lamine. We have to talk about his impact beyond the pitch, because this guy isn't just changing games, he's inspiring a whole generation. In football schools all over Catalonia, kids are trying to copy his dribbles, his impossible ball control, and his curled shots. Coaches don't say, "Play like Messi" anymore. Now they say, "Play like Lamine." And for an 18-year-old, that's a huge responsibility, but he carries it with a natural ease that's impressive. On his social media, where he shares moments from his life, you see him laughing with friends, playing FIFA, or celebrating with his family. He's an idol, yes, but he's also a regular guy, the kind you'd bump into in the neighborhood and who'd ask you for a pass to join a pickup game. However, it hasn't all been easy. Lamine has had to deal with the pressure of being the new Messi, a label that can be both a blessing and a curse. Every goal, every dribble is compared to what the number 10 used to do, and that's not fair, because Lamine isn't Messi and doesn't claim to be. He's Lamine Yamal, with his own style, personality, and path. And if I may add a little humor, Kules, I'd say that if Messi was like an alien descending from his spaceship to play football, Lamine is more like the neighbor next door who offers you fries and then nutmegs you at the park. Another aspect we can't ignore is his versatility. Lamine isn't just a right winger who beats defenders and crosses. He can also play on the left, as a false nine, or even drop back into midfield to organize play if needed. In a match against Atletico de Madrid, Flick placed him in a deeper role, almost like a playmaker, and the guy delivered a performance so good that even Simeone, who doesn't smile even at Christmas, ended up clapping. His ability to adapt to different roles makes him even more valuable, because in modern football, where tactical schemes change every week, having a player as versatile as him is like finding a 50-euro bill in the pocket of an old jacket. And we can't talk about Lamine without mentioning his impact on the Spanish national team. Because yes, Kules, this guy doesn't just shine for Barça, he's making history with La Roja. In the last call-up, during the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, Lamine scored a hat-trick against Scotland that left British analysts scrambling for excuses in the dictionary. "He's a teenager, but he plays like he's 30, said a BBC commentator. And it's not an exaggeration. His connection with players like Alvaro Morata and Dani Olmo has Spain dreaming big, and Lamine, with his audacity, is the spark that ignites the engine. But what's making Lamine better than ever right now? Several factors. First, his physique. Even though he's still a kid, He's put in a lot of work in the gym, and it shows. He's not as easy to knock off the ball anymore, and his speed remains devilish. Then there's his mentality. Lamine has talked in several interviews about working with a sports psychologist to stay focused and not get carried away by praise or criticism. And finally, the environment. Barça in 2025 is a team that, after years of ups and downs, is finding its way again, and Lamine is the cherry on top. Now, I don't want to be too serious, because football should be enjoyed. So imagine Lamine blasting reggaeton while GAVI tries to dance and PEDRI films it to post on TikTok. Because yes, Lamine is also the life of the party, the one who always has a joke ready, who makes the team atmosphere so good that you'd want to go train even in pouring rain. And that, in a club like Barça, where the pressure is constant, is pure gold. In summary, Q's, Lamine Yamal is having a sweet moment, the kind you don't see every day. It's like when you order a coffee and they serve it with a heart-shaped foam on top. You don't expect it, but it makes you smile. His talent, maturity, and ability to make football look easy make him a global star. And the best part? This is just the beginning. So while we continue to enjoy every dribble, every goal, and every smile from this phenomenon, let's get ready for what's coming, because Lamine looks like he's going to keep breaking everything in his path. Q's, we're staying in the same vibe, hearts pounding for the hurricane that is Lamine Yamal in 2025. If you thought I'd already told you everything about this guy, hold on tight, because there's so much more to discover about this Lamine gem. Let's dive fully into the details that make this moment for Lamine like that plate of paella they serve you at the beach, full of flavors, with unexpected ingredients, and leaving you wanting more, as if time stands still, because this present is already crazy. Here's more on why Lamine is at the top and keeps rising. Let's start with his daily routine, because that's where the magic is prepared. Lamine isn't the type to show up to training with headphones and a star attitude. No, this guy steps onto the pitch with a smile brighter than the Camp Nou floodlights during a night match. His teammates tell the story laughing. While some warm up with the seriousness of a surgeon, Lamine is juggling the ball like a kid in the schoolyard. But don't be fooled, this relaxed attitude doesn't mean he's not serious. When training starts, he's the first to listen to Flick, the first to ask for the ball, and the last to leave for the shower. One of Barca's physical trainers, who has seen talents come and go for years, says he's never seen someone so young with such hunger to improve. It's like he wants to prove every day that the day before wasn't enough, the man commented. And that, Q's, is what separates the good from the legendary.